Hey everyone, welcome. If you're new, my name is Eric, and yes, I do believe that this is the best gold watch to get. When it comes to a gold watch, for me, this is the watch I would buy. This is the watch I would wear. So there's a reason why. Funny enough, I don't really like it in the boardroom. I don't like it with cufflinks, suit, tie, all that. I think it's kind of tired that way. But I do, however, like it with jeans and a t-shirt, that kind of a thing. I think it has that FU attitude when you wear it that way. Additionally, when you go to buy them, these were generally bought from guys that took care of their watches. They had money, so they're not beaten up a lot. These things are tanks. Of course, you can get the new ones. I think it's a 3255 movement. It's a 70-hour power reserve and all those advancements. But still, it's a Rolex. You know, and these things are tanks that were taken care of generally. These watches were given to me from exclusive jewelers. I'll put their information below and you can contact them directly if you'd like, but I absolutely love this watch. And you know what? I respect everybody else's opinion. You know, if they like Vacheron, Patek, AP, Holy Trinity watches, I get it. But for me, this watch is so identifiable, you can't not see it. And that's the whole point of wearing a gold watch for me. Anyway, let's take a closer look at it right now. Thanks. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. And either you love it or you hate it. And as I mentioned, I'm not the type of person that you would think would like this watch. I absolutely love it. But as I mentioned, you know, different than, I don't really care that it's in a suit and a tie and all that. I just think t-shirt, jeans, and this watch is super cool. So this is the 36mm watch. And the fit, I have a 7-inch wrist, so of course it's gonna look good. So definitely doable. Actually, probably even better for my wrist. Right? And has that hidden clasp. I'll go into this stuff in a minute. And then just to see the 40, which is actually sized perfectly for me. That means I should have this watch. It's a nice watch. I think the 40 looks, I'm just used to 40. I just came from wearing a 40. So if you get used to a 36, 37, 38, a lot of 39s out there now, then you're going to be used to that. But for me, I just went from a 40 Submariner to this. So of course, I'm going to prefer this, but I do like the 36s as well. So some things that you may or may not know about this watch are that it was launched in 1956. And so what are we coming up on? 69, 70, you're coming up on 70 years, right? In 2026 will be 70 years. A lot of people mistakenly think that Eisenhower was the first person to wear this watch, and it wasn't. He had a gold Rolex with a Jubilee bracelet. It was not this watch. It was Lyndon B. Johnson. And then, of course, very famously, Kennedy from Marilyn Monroe with the inscription, which I wish I had that watch, which we don't. The newer ones have the 3255 movement, which is a 70-hour power reserve, all those type of things. But, you know, what I really want to talk about are the three things that make these watches special. So the three things for these watches and the features that are special for this is they were the first watch to do a day date. And it was a chronometer rated movement. So the very first watch for day date, 1956, they were the first and the only one that uses this President bracelet, which is a little more oval, these links, if you look at them. They're obviously really identifiable. This bracelet is super identifiable to this watch specifically. It's also the only watches available in precious gold. So these watches, you can't buy stainless if you wanted to. So if you see a presidential and it's gold, it's either fake or it's real. And if it's real, then it's got to be gold. It's got to be Everose. It's got to be platinum or white gold. Essentially, I think that's pretty much it. And at different times, of course, they didn't offer the Everose, but I like that color. I think it's beautiful. When I was out, if you watched one of my other videos, I was with Marty Scorsese and I asked for his watch. He had a presidential, and I asked him and I looked at it. Of course, it was platinum. And, you know, the funny thing about that video is that I asked him how much, you know, he paid for it, and he didn't know the cost of it because he does the Rolex commercials. So, of course, they gave it to him, but it was a beautiful watch. The watches are great, but as I said, you know, for me, I think I wear this in a different way. I don't think it's as impactful in a suit, in a tie, and boardroom. And that's what people think about these watches. I think, like I'm dressed right now, which you don't know, a t-shirt, jeans, sneakers, wearing this, I think that's super cool, especially on a younger guy. So it's one of those type of things. Also, there was a time in a period where, and a lot of Rolex people will know this, where they had the birch center link. And it was also, a lot of people don't realize this, but it was also the bezel was in birch. It was, I think, 60s and 70s. I think if Rolex came back with that, birch, I think that thing would sell out like crazy. Who knows with Rolex? You never know what they're going to do. But you can definitely see that center link is what they call brushed. To me, it does look like birch, a tree, and the same with the bezel. So the thing about the watch is, you know, you can get, these watches are like tanks, so they're going to last. You can buy watches that are 5 or 10 years old or 20 years old. They're just great watches. Also, you have to think that the people that are wearing these watches are not diving into the ocean and not banging them around. These guys take care of their watches in general. So you're going to get a good watch. And it's just, I think it's a super deal, a fantastic watch, and you can get them for what, probably 20 to 40,000, I don't know, or more. But I told you where to go to get them, and just call them, and I think they'll give you the best deal. And I think you can find out pretty much any one you want. If you want one with Everose, you want one platinum, you want one white gold, you can get any one that you really want. So I think it's a really cool watch. I think it's an underrated watch. I think everybody in the world knows this watch, but I don't think the cool factor is there. I think it is. So beautiful watch. Thanks so much for watching. Let's go back up top. So there you go. This watch screams. What more is there to say? It absolutely screams to be looked at. And if I'm wearing a gold watch, that's what I want. I know a lot of people be like, Eric, we'll wear a watch like that. Yes, I actually like that. If I'm gonna wear a gold watch, there's a reason why, and that thing screams, look at me. So I think it's a cool watch. The other novel idea for a Rolex is you can actually get them. Platinum, Everose, white, yellow gold. You can buy them. So I think it's a great watch. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Thanks.